Jacob Riis is best known for his work in urban reform as a photojournalist documenting the slums of New York City in the late 19th century. Being among some of the first Americans to utilize flash photography, Riis was able to capture the tragic nighttime lifestyle and poor living conditions of New York's impoverished communities. In his book, The Other Half: How It Lives and Dies in New York, Riis worked to expose the squalor and devastating conditions faced by the poor in hopes of alleviating their hardship. His work eventually persuaded the city to make urban reform changes, such as transitioning Mulberry Street into a park that is known today as Columbus Park, which ultimately improved the conditions of the neighborhood. In Survival of the Unfittest from 1888 or 1889, published in The Battle with the Slum from 1902, Jacob Riis captures the last tenants standing on their tenement block before it was shut down. Riis's use of black and white and high contrast lighting create focal points on the tenants and the street debris. These choices support this ethically evaluative image, causing the viewer to interpret feelings of desertion and isolation. Similarly, in Children's Playground in Poverty Gap from 1888 or 1889, Riis's photo gelatin silver print depicts barefoot children playing with wheelbarrows and swinging on a swing set in an impoverished area. The head-on shot featuring these children's frowning faces reveals their lack of joy in a destitute playground, juxtaposing the playful purpose of the space. Their bare feet and wheelbarrows for toys convey the level of poverty experienced by these children. Riis's Jersey Street Tenements from 1888 or 1889 utilizes black and white color with top lighting to highlight the texture of the dysfunctional roofs and walls of the tenements. The lighting shields the details of the men's faces, but the woman and child are illuminated by the top light, portraying a devastating story of motherhood and poverty through another ethically evaluative composition. In I Scrubs, Katie Who Keeps House in West 49th Street from 1888 or 1889, Jacob Riis demonstrates a different approach by using a singular human subject as the focus of his storytelling. By capturing Katie in a bullseye composition in black and white with a subdued brick background, Riis forces the viewer to interpret the life of an impoverished person through the face of a child. Her tired expression that seems too mature for her age provides the viewer with a distressing glimpse into her reality. I chose Jacob Riis because I was introduced to him in my Planning Sustainable Communities class last semester. We discussed how his work influenced an urban reform movement for public health, causing tenement housing reform, the separation of uses in zoning, as well as building and service code standards. As an environmental studies major concentrating in environmental planning and design, I'm drawn to his photographic work and his greater influence on social reform, public health, and sustainability. Ultimately, Jacob Riis's ethically evaluative work of often black and white photo-gelatin silver prints with head-on composition and high contrast consistently reflect messages of injustice and social reform.